Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. So today's video I'm going to be talking about the 3 starter decks, technically 2 but one is a double starter deck, so the 3 starter decks that have been completely revealed and announced and pretty much released in Japan as of the time of recording. I think the third one is not released just yet, but functionally, right? And we're going to be going over all the new cards, and yeah, if you guys are excited for that, obviously like the video for more Gate Ruler content. They do okay, so I'll try and make them now and then, just to keep people abreast of the situation. And there's a bunch of cards to go over, so obviously that's very, very cool. So firstly, let's talk about these products, so you understand exactly what we're talking about. So firstly, we've got the dual starter deck, Dragonoid Dreadnoughts versus Alice. Now, of all these starters, this is the one I think has the best chance of actually coming over to the West, because it's a 2-player starter deck, right? And like, this is a very easy sell, because if you're not interested in the wider Gate Ruler game, if you just want to try it out, this is something you pick up. You've got 2 decks, they play very differently. One's a drive deck, one's a hand deck. You grab a mate, you play, you're done, you're happy. So this is something that's much less risk for stores to stock, as opposed to individual starter decks, where it's very possible to just end up with loads of one, and it's very difficult to motivate someone to try a game if there's only one deck option. So I think from that perspective, it's exciting. Also, it's 2 very popular themes. It's big mech dragons and Alice in Wonderland, which is shockingly very popular. And it's hitting 2 very different target audiences. So I think, you know, in that sense, there's quite good odds that we do get this. If of all the starter decks, or all the new products that have come out in Japan, this is the one that isn't a main set that has the best chance of coming stateside, I think. So this came out in January, and I'm hoping if it doesn't come as its own thing, we'll get it in the main set in set 6. The other product that's come out is Starter Deck 5 Stun Beat, and this is just a standard starter deck, and this will be releasing on the 16th of June in Japan. So let's talk about the Alice and Dragonoid starters, because this is what I'm very, very excited for, because I really do think I mean, they basically had to make rules changes, I feel like. Not exclusively because of how some of the interactions worked from the starter, but definitely those interactions made them kind of need to incentivize them to, like, you know, make the changes. So obviously we've got the full list here. The nice thing is they got their shit together. You get 4 copies of every single new card in each starter. Thank you, Ikeda. Great job. This is what we wanted. So you only need to buy one of these. You got everything you need. It's fantastic. All right, let's talk about the new cards. So the Atlas stuff is basically shifting away from this sort of Alice and the A7 into just Alice, with a couple of the A7s, and frankly, the good ones. So we'll talk about this field spell first, because this is like really important to understanding how the deck is functioning. So Psychic Overload, this is a counter that says you put it into your field zone, so you're getting it. Psychic Burst. Once per turn, when an allied ascendant unit enters play during your opponent's turn, you can DR2 to burn 1. Okay, that's pretty good. Getting access to that burn is very nice. Once per turn, as an instant action, you can sack this to the grave to bounce an ascendant of level 2 back to your hand. So you can use this for comboing, you can use this to get back your stuff with Sentinel Summoning and just like play it into play again. This is, I think, a big part of the reason why they had to change, basically remove the fact that damage goes on the gate, because what would happen is you would swing into an Alice's like a center, you could let the damage stick, and then you could just bounce it back to hand. So you got a free attack nullification for no reason, and you can summon it back again to do it. So you can't do that anymore, thankfully. Otherwise, I think Alice would probably just never die. Also, your Ascendants of level 2 or lower in all locations gain Enhanced Ascendant, as well as Charge Shield. So this is very, very nice, because this is just basically making sure that whilst there is some charge removal in the game, there's not a huge amount, it's not very popular, and this is kind of just guaranteeing that your whole strategy is not going to fall apart because to one piece of removal. Your opponent needs to make a concerted effort to actually remove your combo pieces. So this is a very, very important event. You're probably playing this at 4 copies. And you're already starting to see the issues that are going to arise in actually constructing Alice deck, just in terms of the counters. So the next new card we got is Lightning Teleporter. So this is a level 2 Ascendant Thunder. It's a 4/4/2, so stats are a little mid. It has Sentinel Summoning though, so obviously you see the combo there, right? You have a Psychic Overload, so you can play out the Lightning Teleporter, you get to DR2 to burn 1, and then you can bounce it back to hand to keep it around, right? For example. So this cannot be placed in Defense Zone. So obviously with this card you wouldn't be able to do that nonsense, and I imagine This probably isn't necessary anymore because of the ruling change, but at the time this was definitely necessary. Allied Descendant units ignore effect damage, so this is quite nice because you can just put it into play when your opponent tries to deal effect damage and not hard remove something, which is obviously very, very good. I love the idea of putting this into play in response to like your opponent trying to Lucifer you or something. I think that's quite funny. And then once per turn, at the end of your turn, you may choose one Allied Descendant card, except Lightning Teleport it, and return it to its owner's hand. So this has that set 2 Alice effect, which is obviously quite good. I actually don't even know if you play set 2 Alice anymore. Obviously the salvaging is quite good, but we'll see. So this is obviously quite nice, and just being able to sort of get back your resources, get back your combo potential is obviously very, very good. So this card is quite nice. It definitely seems like a important part of the engine. Then we've got Girl of the Luminous Fire. So this is just an Ascendant and a Fire. This is not Alice, and this is Red Riding Hood. So this is Sentinel summoning on a 3/3/1, but it cannot be placed in the defense set. So again, they're giving them these restrictions. As this enters play, you may return one Ascendant you haven't played to your hand. If you have a Girl of the Luminous Fire in play, you cannot put another Girl of the Luminous Fire in play. And this is, I think, necessary, probably for Union shenanigans that could occur. And I do think, I'm inclined to think that you're going to be playing this deck in Union, but potentially this is still going to be Wizard. I am inclined to think Union, though, because your levels have gotten lower. You're building around like level 2s and stuff. You're not really playing level 3s. It's probably going to be easier to do it. I'm not 100% sure how the processing would work if you play this and you overgo like the level limit. Can you bounce it first, or we'll see, because it's as the centers play, so it might conflict with the timing for size check. But anyway, yeah, I think this card is very, very good. It's an important combo piece. One interesting... yeah, this card is just good. It's good. I like it. Okay, then we got the cover card, Alice of the Apocalyptic World. So this is a 5/2/2, level 2 Alice Ascendant. Stats are kind of fine. Instant action, discard this card and one Ascendant from your hand. Quite hefty. Choose one allied unit in your attack zone that's being attacked until the end of this combat against Intercept. So Intercept is a really powerful keyword. Like, it's really, really powerful. Usually, if you just give something Intercept, it's gonna remove whatever's just hacked into it. So that is obviously very, very good, but it is reliant on your opponent actually going for your attack zone units, though of course in the Alice deck they're probably going to be doing that. And as a standard action, you can put this card from your graveyard to the bottom of the deck to flip 2 cards in your damage zone face up. So it's not the end of the world that you're discarding this, because you are just going to bot deck it and you are going to get some advantage out of it. I think this card's pretty good. It's not insane, it's just like a good piece. It's nice to have, right? Like it's nice to have. You're going to do it. I just think it's going to catch people out and it's going to be really, really powerful in that sense. Again, because all your Ascendants should be getting Charge Shield, should be getting Enhanced, then you're at less of a risk of just being blown out by one piece of hard removal. They're going to need multiple. You can ignore effect damage now. You can give yourself Intercept. So suddenly, none of these things are individually crazy, but they add up into something that's really quite powerful. Then we have got, If I Could Meet You in My Dreams, is probably one of the most important cards that I could have gotten. As a standard action, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to instead play this for 0. And you add an Ascendant at level 2 or less from your deck to your hand, or you choose an Ascendant at level 2 or less in your graveyard and special summon it, and if you do, you can use that unit's TD. So this is obviously insane. Being able to... So firstly, as the discount, you can use this to just play something out for free, right? Like, so you can pitch your level 2 or lower Alice, and then you just bring it back with this, right, for free. You just play this for free. So that's obviously very, very good if you need your energy to do multiple things. But if you don't, obviously you can search something. Like, the ability to just search Liberty in this deck is kind of crazy, because this card is really, really good. So just even in set 5, set 6 format, I think this card is still going to be very, very good, especially now, especially because you can enhance it, you can give it Defender. The card's really, really good. So yeah, I think being able to just get it out of your deck, get it into your drop zone, and have that be threatening, constantly reviving, constantly having access to this Defender tool is just very, very strong. So yeah, I think this card's staple. It's staple, insanely good. And then that's it. That's it for the new cards that the Alice starter deck got access to. So not a huge number, but each one of them very, very impactful. There is one change, however, and that is Mad Hatter. So Mad Hatter is actually, so you see it's a 3/1/1. They actually misprinted it as a 3/3/1. And because they were expecting new people to get into the game with this deck, they just said, it's errated now. So this card's insane. This is a level 0 3-3-1 that gives 3 HP. So it's a 3-6-1 that you can just chuck into defensive zone, block an attack for sure, and then just bounce it back through some various means. For example, because it's an Ascendant, you can bounce it back through Psychic Overload. So obviously you are going to need Alice's that let you special summon stuff onto board, so it's very likely you are going to be playing this Alice. It's possible you want to play other ones, but yeah, just being able to just slam stuff down, there's no summon cap on your opponent's turn, you can really do some nonsense combo stuff. Like, there's definitely going to be some insane things you can do. Because everything's Ascendant, you now also gain access to draw power, which the deck was sorely lacking. So I really do think Alice is going to be a very scary deck when we get access to this stuff in the West. Okay, let's talk about the Dragonoid Dreadnoughts now, because these are also very, very good. So firstly, we have Dragonoid Dreadnought, Saku Ikazuchi, Land Mode. So obviously, if you remember, we got, I think it was Sky Mode or something. We got a different mode for this in set 5, and this is now fleshing out that. So this is Mode Shift Flight Mode. You can DR1 and put this on the bottom of its deck to special summon 1 Saku Ikazuchi Flight Mode. The special summon unit enters play in the same zone that this unit was in. So obviously that's quite good. You're just going in, you're getting something. That's obviously very, very nice. So let's talk about Flight Mode, because I believe it is in this deck. Yep, so this is Flight Mode, just in case you've forgotten, this was in the main set. So when this attacks, you get to pop a set, and when it is attacked, you can DR1 and put it on the bottom of its owner's deck to get out Land Mode. So obviously the nice thing is you can just kind of swap between the two, so you can kind of bait your opponent. But to be honest, I don't think it's that good. It's coming in the same state. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know, nothing crazy. Then we have got Saku Ikazuchi Rocket Mode. So what this does is you can use Rapid Mode Change, special summon any Saku Ikazuchi from your deck except Rocket Mode. And it enters play in the same zone that this unit was in, but not in the same state. So you can attack with this, swap into, for example, Land Mode, and then you can swing, swap out of that, and then go into this. So yeah, I mean, it's a cute little combo. I don't think it's particularly strong, but it's fine. Then we have got Dragonoid Dreadnought or Ikazuchi. This card's quite good. Level -2, 1/1, Forced Reveal. When this enters play due to its Forced Reveal from your drive zone, look at the top card of your deck. If it's Dragonoid Dreadnought, special summon it. Otherwise, you return to the bottom of the deck. So the fact that this can just give you a board is obviously very, very powerful. If you don't have an allied Dragonoid Dreadnought card, destroy this. This card gains +1 attack for each different Dragonoid Dreadnought card in your graveyard. So this is going to get very, very big. This can potentially build you a board. It's giving you negative levels in deck. Very, very good. Staple 4 of. Very, very nice. And I believe the last new card, penultimate new card, we've got Dragonoid Dreadnought, Amano Hono Ikazuchi. I think this is giving us the full lineup now. I think this is all the Dragonoid Dreadnoughts as well, as of the starter deck. So this is Enhanced Dragonoid Dreadnought, Charge Shield, so you can 5/5/2, you can enhance it. Amano Cannon, when this attacks, if it has charges, deal 3 damage to all enemy units. Okay, that's pretty good. Purge, when this leaves play because of your opponent, you may DR3. If you do, choose one Dragonoid Dreadnought Hono Ikazuchi in your graveyard and special summon it to your attack zone. This is insane. So Hono Ikazuchi, if you don't remember, is this one, which when it attacks, you divide damage up, but fundamentally, you are getting out a unit. That's really, really good. And yes, it is only to attack zones, but I mean, fundamentally, like, it's still a unit you're getting out. It's Dragonoid Dreadnoughts, you're maintaining names. I think this is very, very, very powerful. Then finally, we have Ifreach Engine. So this counter puts into the field zone. Instant action, you send it to the grave to buff a Dragonoid Dreadnought by 3 HP. 3 HP is quite significant. And then standard action, you can DR3 Dragonoid Dreadnoughts and send this to the graveyard to choose a Dragonoid Dreadnought in your graveyard and special summon it. So obviously, this is something that can just build your board, but it can also keep your board alive. Overall, I'm really quite impressed by both of these starters. I think they're both very, very good. Obviously, I'm a lot more excited for the Alice one, but I think there's a lot of combo potential for both. I definitely am going to be labbing with the Alice stuff, at least when we get some analysis as to how we're getting it. I do think there is very strong potential for some very, very powerful stuff to come out of this. But yeah, next, let's move on to Ghetto Beat. This is a fairly simple one, to be honest. So the one thing with this card is you do not get 4 of each of the new cards, so you will need to pick up 2 of these, which is a little bit annoying. But this is a normal starter, I guess, is the logic. I would prefer if they made the starters just 4 of all the new cards. I would really prefer that, but whatever. Let's talk about the new cards. So some of them are fairly boring, right? So this is a vanilla, it's just 6/6/2, it's a new card. And vanillas are quite important in this deck. I think that's it for the new vanillas. But obviously you see you're playing ones like Kamatachi Joe. You're playing Beastfolk Barbarian. So you are playing these cheap vanillas. So why are we playing these? Well, there's a few reasons. Firstly, let's talk about Scalia Wilderness. So this is a 6/2/2 level 2. This is an Earth Dragon Beast. So a full suite of quite relevant traits there. Counter, if you choose one of the following. You have a field card or an allied unit with no abilities, you can DR2 to choose one non-legendary unit of level 2 or lower in your graveyard and return it to your hand, so you just salvage something. That's pretty good. Or you can choose up to 2 cards of damage zone and flip them face up. I think this is a very, very solid counter, and especially when you see some of the effects that we have in this deck that require DR, it's very good. And then, when it's in play, you can, when your field card is sent from the field to place to the graveyard, you can DR4 to deal 2 damage to all enemy units. So potentially this is comboing with something like, you know, Star Trek Arrow. Okay, it goes, cool, DR, burn, and you can potentially do some board wipes during your opponent's turn, which can be very, very nice. I think this is going to be really, really good into those go wide strategies, which are quite popular thanks to Shuriken, so that is something to bear in mind. Okay, next, we've got GWena, Mage of Confusion. So this is a 3/2/2. When this deals damage to your opponent, choose one of the following. Look at your opponent's hand, select one card from among it, your opponent discards it. This is nuts. Choose up to 2 cards of your opponent's graveyard and remove them from the game. Okay, this card is crazy. That's not it though. Instant action, send this from your hand to the graveyard, choose an allied unit in your attack zone against 2 HP, so you can just keep something alive. And in the context of something with Retaliate, that is very, very good. This card's great. This card's really, really, really good. Being able to just into hand decks, which are the most popular type of deck that people want to be playing, just go, yep, cool, I'm discarding your combo pieces, is obviously very, very good. It makes this a high priority removal target, but even if you don't, just banishing stuff from the opponent's graveyard into drive decks is very, very popular because you banish their counters and they can't do silly things like return them to the deck and shuffle. That card should be banned. Changed my mind. Next, we've got Eric, Goddess of Heavenly Grace. So this is a 1/1/0 level 0. TD, choose one card in your damage zone and flip it face up. Standard action, return this to the hand. So this is really, really nice because you can just go, yep, boop, boop, boop. If you don't need to use your summon caps for something, you've already got a board, you can just unflip cards. Quite nice. Flash, instant action, send this from your hand to the graveyard. Choose one allied unit that's being attacked and has no abilities against Intercept. So we know how powerful Intercept is. We know vanillas are big, so this is very good. And there's no restriction on this just being indefensive. So obviously the issue is if it's indefensive, it's going to get hard popped by one of the many, 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 many ways we have of doing that. So that's something to bear in mind. Blessing of Light, instant action, send this from your hand to the graveyard. Choose one allied unit that has no abilities. It is not affected by any of your opponent's effects until the end of the turn. Oh, look at that. Isn't that amazing? We just solved the problem. So yeah, this card does everything in this deck. It's really, really good. Yeah, super, super strong. That's not the last Volnar new card though, because we've got another one, which is Revelations. Instant action, put an allied unit with no abilities into the graveyard, choose one card at level 4 or lower that your opponent has played, negate it, and take 2 damage. This is so good. This is so good. Why? Because you know that if you do this to the right card, right? If you do this to your opponent's big unit, their big build around unit, right? For example, if your opponent plays down Doom again, right? That's their drive for turn and Berserker, and you go, yeah, no, negate. It is so worth taking 2 damage and losing an allied unit to just negate. No, you don't get it. So strong, right? Like, being able to do this to particularly targeted cards is just outrageously powerful. Obviously, as well, if you decided to build into Wonderverse, then you just don't even take damage as well. So that's worth saying with Adriano, but probably not going to matter. But yeah, you never know. Then, Exosuit Demon Ridance. This is 2 new cards in your Imagine. So this is a Thunder Supernatural Military Robotic. It's a 5/3/2. Pretty good stats on a level 2. I think it's pretty reasonable. If you have an allied unit with no abilities, this gains the following abilities. Now, I think that counts as an effect. So this will not be treated as a vanilla, but it can gain bonus abilities. So what does this gain? Instant action, you put this into the graveyard or DR4. Choose one card or ability that performs Sentinel Summoning, or a special summon. Negate it! Your opponent cannot draw cards except through the start of turn action. Yes, as you can imagine, this is insanely good. So you turn off your opponent being able to just, you know, gain draw power. There's not a vast amount of it, but there's some. And yeah, just being able to go, yeah, no, special summon negate, Genesis summoning, over. Gone. Bye-bye. Summoning from graveyard. Sentinel summoning, like, this shuts down so many strategies. It just forces, like, hard removal. Like, you just have to go, okay, I've got to kill this. So this is super, super good. Obviously, remember as well, like, if it's just going to get intercepted as well, like, this is something that, oh, to be fair, I don't think you can't give it intercept, but still, it is really, really good. And then finally, Enga, there's the Scorching King. This is a level 0 counter. Exhaust your opponent's ruler. Very, very good counter. Traits are fine. While this card is in play, it's treated as a unit with no abilities. So this is very relevant. While it's in the graveyard, it cannot be chosen by your opponent. Okay, that's very good. Purification, instant action, DR2, reduce the next damage dealt to you by 1. That's fine. Once per turn, standard action, discard a card from your hand, draw 1. It's just simple, effective. You get to filter once per turn, just go pop, 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 pop. Try and draw your important pieces. It's good stats, 4-1-0 is fairly reasonable. You can just use this to clear board, and being able to just reduce damage is kind of nice. It's something you can use multiple copies of. It's just going to save you the game. The counter is very powerful. I'm a fan. So overall, I think all of these new cards from these starter decks have been very impressive, and I'm very, very excited to actually get to play with them. So, Gate Ruler, when are we getting them? As I said repeatedly, I'm expecting these all to come with set 6, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did a double or even a triple deck set where they changed the ratios a little bit and they just gave you 4 copies of all the new cards, and the decks were a little bit more jank, but you just got everything together, and you're like, cool, now I can play these decks. So, I'm hoping that's what they do, because I think a triple deck could be quite successful. Again, if it's like, 40 quid for a triple deck, I'd be like, yeah, I'll buy that, especially if it's foil. Like, yeah, you get 3 decks, you get to, try out very different strategies. It's possible the Ghetto Beat one might be a bit too oppressive into those 2 other decks, but who's to say? Or you might get this nice little triangle thing. It could be fun. I don't know. Either way, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do like it, subscribe to the channel for more Gate Ruler content. I also make One Piece and Battle Spirit Saga videos, so you can check those out as well. If you're interested in supporting me on the Patreon, you can check that out too. I make competitively focused content for One Piece and Battle Spirit Saga on there, so that's nice. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.